What is going on? Your two favorite SP coaches here to throw a wrench in the SP game are back. Tim Grimes, six-time best-selling author, a writer, an editor of Neville's Works. Who else do you know has done that? Yours truly. Who else do you know manifested an SP back after not hearing from them for 5 years? No contact completely. Yours truly. Like I said, we're back to throw a wrench in the game. If you were interested in working with us, don't hesitate. The link is always in the description below to sign up one-on-one or join our SP mastermind to get your SP back like no other. Tim, say what's up to the people.
What's up? Can we do a special shout out too? We've mentioned her before. Just start the flame on this one. Subconscious laws. Subconscious laws. Shout out to you in the sense of fucking stop giving atrocious advice to people. And if you're in the subconscious laws group, big shout out. Get the fuck out of that group if you want to stay sane. Heard another horror story today. Marv, you want to dive into it?
I was gonna say you just took it. You can go ahead and take the wheel. Take the wheel, Jesus.
I mean, so what makes Marvin and my SP coaching approach so different than basically anyone else we know of? And again, a lot of these SP coaches have a few good things to say, and there are some coaches that are just going to align with you, that they're going to work for your sensibility, even if they won't work for a lot of other people's sensibility. But generally speaking, most SP coaches are full of shit and give bad advice that's not going to holistically improve your life or your relationships long term. Subconscious laws, based on numerous anecdotes we have heard from former clients and people of her group, is one of those coaches. We don't love dumping on other coaches, naming names unless we have to. She's one of these people we have to name names because of all the toxic shit we have heard. Anyway, we had a free consultation, someone who wanted, to see if they wanted to work with us today. So we spoke to this woman actually for a very long time, because she sounds like she wants to work with us, and she had a great story to tell that we were able to kind of flesh out and help her with. She made this fascinating point. It was kind of an aha moment for both Marvin and I, that many people, when they get into this law of assumption community, manifest your SP back community, are attracted to the coach that reminds them of their relationship with their parents. If they had negative experiences, traumatic experiences in their upbringing with their parents, not necessarily that the parents were toxic to them, but some of their parents' potentially toxic behavior is then mirrored in the SP coach they choose, as well often as many of their partners. Of course, a lot of us know that. If you work with us, we'll delve into that probably, that very often the toxic behavior or the traumatic behavior of your parents is then reflected later on with your SPs. But this woman made a great point. Also, the SP coach that you end up working with very well might be that lost parent figure from childhood who fucked you up.
Yo, it was so profound when she said that. I was taken aback, and it was just one of those magical moments that we have with clients at times, and it was so beautiful. So shout out to this person who gave us that. Oprah likes to call it that aha moment. Shout out to this client, because it was really an aha moment.
Yeah, and Marv and I speak about this a lot. Again, if you're new here, we have so many SP videos on both our channels, and many delve into this. But one issue with SP coaches is that they take this kind of like one size fits all approach most of the time, and they're very dogmatic. And that's because the law of assumption community online is very dogmatic. And this person today, to be blunt, was just saying that, like, subconscious laws, that group and like that coaching style is heartless. It's heartless. It's like, it's not caring. It's not compassionate. It's not empathetic, or even sympathetic a lot of the time, which is what I also saw when I was moderator of the Neville community. Not one of my proudest moments. But no, it's what you see particularly in this Neville community. And I was speaking to actually somebody yesterday, non-SP related, who's very familiar with the community. He was saying, he's like, he had, a strong background in various spiritual and, self-improvement communities. He was saying he's never seen as dogmatic and toxic a community as the Neville community. And at first I was like, man, you're exaggerating some, but like, in a way he's right. Like, this is a crazy community. And you got to think, like, why am I going to this space to repair and heal relationships, including the relationship with myself, when so many people in it act like fucking psychopaths? I mean, seriously, Marv, like, what's up with that? Like, it's so crazy. Like, we're a Neville recovery group a lot of the time, or SP Mastermind. Often those sessions when there's a lot of people in the group, where there have been in the past, like there's been these half an hour sessions where we're just commiserating on how the Neville community fucked them up and how they had to be deprogrammed or detoxed from it,
Yeah, 100%. And the funny thing is before this person even mentioned who the coach was, we kind of had a feeling.
I guessed it, remember?
Yeah, you guessed it. And as soon as she said it, we kind of had this group laugh, and we were just you know what I mean? And I was just thinking to myself, I mean, she said how mean Laj is. And I was just thinking to myself, man, this is, again, same person, different story. And how people don't really go in there and get the advice that they want. But to Tim's point, what this person said, and what was the profound statement, this person had said that subconscious Laj reminded them of, what was it, her parents when she was younger. And so that resonated. And so that talking style, which is what people got to be careful of, especially because when you're coming from an unhealed place, a coach's talking style may resonate with you. Somebody like Sammy may resonate with you. You might like the fact that she talks crazy, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know how she is now because I don't watch her stuff. But years ago, the cursing.
She talks the same.
Cursing, yeah, I believe it. The cursing and all of the other stuff, that how brazen she was or whatever the case might be. That stuff might resonate with you, but you got to ask yourself, why is that resonating with you? Why do you like being talked to like that? Why do you like the dogmatic approach like that? Why do you like that? Where is that coming from? Is that coming from a place of lack? Is that coming from a place of not knowing any better? And I think a lot of times that is the answer. I think it is coming from lack. I think it is coming from not knowing any better. A lot of times, and this is why you guys, I made that video however many months back, and I've made videos with Tim talking about this. The first LOA coach you run into could be life or death, literally, for your SP situation. Whatever is particularly around manifesting a romantic relationship, old or new. The first coach you run into could literally destroy or could provide fruit to whatever SP situation you're looking to do. Somebody old to come back or somebody new to come in the picture. And I can't stress that enough. And this is another example, the latest example that we've heard over the past, since last summer, the beginning of last summer, of somebody going through this with a terrible, and again, I don't know if I'd like to think a lot of these coaches mean well, but I'm starting to think some of them don't mean well. Some of them don't care. Like Tim said, you use the word psychopaths. Some of these people in the comments, for sure, some of these coaches, when you hear some of the stuff they say, I don't like using, I guess I shouldn't say psychopaths because I don't really like labeling stuff like that, because obviously,
more like narcissistic personality trait, not necessarily narcissist, but like very like
just terrible traits as a human being, as a coach.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. As a coach, particularly as there's a difference between a therapist, a coach. Coach, counselor is very similar. I use those kind of synonymously myself, but there's a difference between like a therapist, coach, counselor, healer. These are different things, but like a commonality, generally speaking, is going to be caring, sympathetic, empathetic, willing to look at your situation as an individual and not place it in this broader spectrum where everything's this, there's one solution, one size fits all solution. And the law of assumption space is the opposite of that a lot of the time, where even, we're not going to name names, but some of the SP coaches that we think are okay, even they, a lot of the time, in our opinion, are just way too dogmatic. Some of these SP coaches definitely do mean well. Okay. But still, we, via clients, we hear what the advice they were given. And a lot of times it's good, but a lot of the time, the majority of the time, it's just too dogmatic. It's too like Neville Reddit, Neville subreddit advice, like good Neville subreddit advice. Good Neville subreddit advice is good for some people some of the time. But guess what? This is real life, motherfucker. And there ain't no parallel realities. It's Papa Bear Tim and Marv, and we're telling you like it fucking is. And everyone's talking the talk, but very few will walk the walk. And I don't know, some of these groups, some of these coaches, it's just like they're just fucking taking your money, baby. They can justify taking their money, your money, because they think they're doing a good job, but they're not very ethical people in our opinion. So, oh man, but yeah, it's like, is your SP coach or the YouTuber you watch most often in the law of assumption community, are they really just your parent revisited?
Or your trauma revisited.
Exactly, your trauma revisited. Exactly, your childhood wounds revisited. Is that what it is?
Or yeah, because it could be childhood wound. It could be your first heartbreak at 18, 19, 20, whatever you guys know, I like to say the word original sin. Whatever that original sin is, are you attracting that in an SP coach? Or are you attracting that in a money coach, whoever you're dealing with, or whatever it is that you're trying to utilize LOA for? And like I said, again, this statement is so profound that when we heard it, and because I had always thought about it from a relationship perspective, who you're attracting on that level from a relationship perspective. But when this person said the coaching part, I thought to myself, I said, oh my God, that it makes 100% sense, because it's the same thing. It's no different. It's just not a romantic relationship. You know what I mean? It's a one-on-one counselor perspective, but it's like if somebody were to go to leave a job and end up going to a new place that has a new job, they're going to attract the same environment, potentially the same circumstances that they had at their previous job or the job before. And it just never dawned on me that people are doing that with coaches as well until we started talking about that. But it makes sense. And when you think about the community being so dogmatic, and people listening to people in these groups and people listening to advice in the comments of random people, I had somebody, I was telling Tim earlier before we hopped on and pressed record, I had to block somebody on TikTok because they were just spamming my comment section with all of this Neville, just writing passages from Neville's books and telling me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I manifested a house. I manifested my SP back in 4 months. Good for you. And I think I commented to this person. I said, tell that to the person that can't visualize. Tell it to the person that got assaulted, SA'd to be polite, so that the YouTube algorithm doesn't, get me, because, YouTube is always funny with that type of stuff. But say that to the person that got SA'd or graped or whatever the case might be. And every time they close their eyes, that's all they see when they try to visualize. It ain't that easy for people to, and it's, these guys are heartless. Like I said that. And
why is that person on TikTok or YouTube commenting then? Don't they make a fucking channel and help people? These people are fucking losers. And I like, a psychopath might be a strong word, but I don't know. I mean, I've been getting a bunch of comments like that recently too. Because whenever you go after that, the big panda, Neville, people can't stand it. And this has nothing to do with Neville, guys. This has nothing to, like Marv and I always say, this SP community really is like so unrelated to Neville in most ways. And you're gonna be all these people, oh, yeah, I'm the first couple months of the year, I'll probably make a video about this. First couple months of the year, I was being very docile. I'm still pretty docile, but I might just tell you to shut the fuck up in my comments if I keep on, if I don't just delete your comment, because dumb shit, like I was saying last video, I don't want to deal with dumb shit discussions about this stuff. I don't fucking care. I used to moderate the Neville subreddit. You people are fucking morons and being lied to if you believe that shit. I want nothing to do with that energy except to call it out and get you to fuck off of there so you don't waste your time on there or with these manipulative coaches and YouTubers. And they're not
And
all like that, but just, again, it's just there's so much of this toxicity. It's crazy.
and the crazy thing is, and we always point this out. This stuff is easier said than done.
Only
It's
always.
it's exactly. It's not like Neville was wrong when he was saying what he was saying. It's not like Jesus Christ was wrong in what he was saying. It's not, these guys aren't wrong. The problem is they make it sound like you're gonna get it overnight. They make it sound like, oh, you're gonna get it so fast, you're gonna get it in a week, you're gonna get it in less than a week. People don't understand how actually how hard it is to actually, if you're gonna go Neville's route, people don't actually understand how hard it is to actually apply Neville's advice. It sounds easy, but it's not. Because if it were easy, Tim and I would have no clients. Sammy would have no clients. Subconscious Lives would have no clients. All of these people on YouTube would have no clients. Churches wouldn't be packed with people. Mosque wouldn't be packed with people. None of these people would they would be out of a job if this shit was as easy as we think it is. And so, and this is what, and it can be easy. Again, when you hear people like, oh, my SP came back in 4 months, we got engaged. That's an anomaly. That ain't the norm. Trust me, that ain't the norm. And on top of that, if people's SP they do come back, I wonder how many of those people actually keep it, or are they going through problems, whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? So again, the sensationalism around this stuff, it is very real and it can be real, but a lot of times it's not going to be lasting.
It's
And
just not going to be your experience.
right. It might be your experience once every 5 years, or
Right.
once every 6, 7, 8, 9 months, or whatever the case might be. You know what I mean? Something crazy like that.
But you can't replicate it. That's the whole thing. We've spoken to so many people who are like, I was able to do this amazing thing once and it's legitimate, but they can't replicate it. And that's why you see these success stories, these comments on YouTube, these people you don't know. And the perception is this one-off thing is a common occurrence. It's not. It's not. If it were, we wouldn't be coaching people on it, and it would just be a different world. There would be a lot more harmony in the world than there is. And you wouldn't have morons on fucking YouTube trolling us because they say they get this stuff. They would actually be implementing it correctly and helping people in the real world as opposed to the interwebs.
Yeah, and I would love to tell you guys you're going to get stuff quickly, but chances are for a lot of people you just aren't.
And well, the chances are this though. I think quickly getting your SP, realizing you're the real SP, and lining yourself up to be in a great relationship within a year, year and a half. That's fucking quickly.
Yeah,
if you're
I
too
agree.
impatient to do that, you fucking don't deserve a fucking SP, in my opinion. You're being childish.
I
Same with the business shit. And this is another argument, just to expand upon this. You know how many bright, intelligent business people there are who claw and strive to become wealthy and successful? If this manifestation stuff was as easy as people say, don't you think that those millions and millions and millions of business people would be bigger proponents of it and you would hear more about it from the legitimate business community? You fucking don't. Because that's not how it works in real life. If you want to know how it works in real life, fucking study W. Clement Stone, who most of you folks probably don't know who is, and was probably a much better manifestation teacher from a practical level than Neville. But you guys don't even know who that is. And I don't know. That's my mic drop, Marv. That's all I got.
No, I guess, like you said, man, when I say quickly, I mean 3 days. People, you always see these videos, these clickbait titles, or get your SP back in 3 days, get your SP back in a week. That's what I mean. It's not going to happen quickly, most likely. That type of stuff. And now, can it? Absolutely, absolutely. Again, I'm not saying Neville is wrong. I'm not saying all of these guys are wrong. I'm not saying when you hear Sammy talk about robotic affirming, I'm not saying she's wrong. But what I'm saying is there would be no need for coaching for any of you if this stuff was that simple and that easy. It sounds rudimentary on paper, but when you apply it and you start to do it, it's like a fourth grader or third grader learning cursive. It's hard.
It's more like a third grader trying to fucking learn how to fucking drive a car, and their feet can't even reach the fucking
Right.
the brake or the the engine. Like it's not. It ain't the way it sounds. And listen, again, Marvin, I talked about this too, not to belabor it, but like the Bible, especially the New Testament, that's like you could look at that as an instruction manual for manifesting. You know how many people have read the Bible and tried to have miracles in their life? Millions, if not billions. And how many people are doing that shit really without
and they failed.
Exactly.
And they
I think you're fooling yourself if you think this is all that different. These are great modalities, great teachers, people like Neville, people like W. Clement Stone, so many of the others, but it's not going to be as easy as you think, and that's okay. And
right, that's okay.
We can help you manifest your SP legitimately within probably the next 6 months to 18 months. That's what we do when we work together on this stuff. So
exactly, because it starts with you. It starts 100% with you. And the more you start, the more you lay your foundation, that's when this stuff gets easier. That's when your brain and your heart, like they say, brain heart coherence, when they could be in unison and you say to the mountain, move, now the mountain can move. But what's happening is a lot of you guys are not, you want something so fast. We live in this microwave generation. You want to put your manifestation in microwave and press 30, and it comes out and it's still not ready. Then you put it back in the microwave and you press 30, it comes out and it's still not ready. We want everything so fast, but we don't realize laying a solid foundation, which most people don't want to do. They just want to repeat an affirmation and get it quickly. But like I said in my past videos, a lot of times we get stuff quickly, we lose it quickly because there's no solid foundation. There is no stone, there is no concrete. It's built on sand and stick. And so when the wind blows, that shit's gonna come tumbling down.
It's built on a text message, man. Look, it worked. I got a text message within 3 days. Great. Now you got to fucking actually be in a relationship with that person. Different ball game. Third grader trying to fucking drive.
Now you got to deal with them not texting you back for the whole day.
Right.
When you want them to text you, they didn't text you back in 2 days. Now you got to deal with that.
You got to deal with actually interacting with them, not on the phone.
You got to deal with them going to another country, another state, you got to deal with all of that. Being long distance, you got to deal with that.
Talking to other people, potentially other people who are interested in them romantically. Ooh. No fucking kid games. Comments are going to be good for this one. Just honestly, guys, don't leave them. I mean, Christ almighty, it's silly. If you want real help, you know where to find us, as Marv said. Thanks for having me, Marv.
Always, man. This should be a good one. Can't wait to read the comments.
See you guys.